I led a couple wheels decide my build for the new Curse of the All-Flame League, and they blessed me with Eye of Winter Pathfinder, an homage to the classic D2 Frozen Orb paired with a toxic alcoholic ranger. The goal, collect all 4 endgame void stones by defeating the 8 pinnacle bosses as well as the mysterious new deep sea boss introduced this league. And to make matters worse, I'm determined to turn this into a poison build, and I have no idea how. We're jumping into the deep end today, so without further ado, let's dive in. I create my ranger, give her the most sophisticated name imaginable, Toxic Ice Cream, and wake up on the Twilight Strand. I run straight to Hillock, ignoring every crab and zombie along the way. Ranger easily gets the safest Hillock kill in the game, mostly because you get to shoot him from a zip code away with your OP burning arrows. Now, Eye of Winter is a level 28 spell that isn't available until Act 3. Naturally, the sane option would be to level with his standard bow skill until then, but sanity doesn't make for good content. Instead, I create a temporary witch, run the strand a second time, and mule over the closest thing I can get to a level 1 ice spell, Freezing Pulse. Back on the ranger, I grab my starter wands, toss on Freezing Pulse, and we're in business. It shoots a classic wave of ice, and honestly, it takes me back. One of the first builds I ever played in Path of Exile was a Terran's Shiver Freezing Pulse build, an absolute classic. Anyways, while exploring the coast, I run into the League's newest NPC, Valerie, or as I like to call her, Val. Val invites me onto her ship to act as her primary, entirely unpaid crewmate. And look, PoE players have been begging for a boat league for a decade. How could I possibly refuse unpaid maritime labor? I hop aboard and get introduced to the main league mechanic, deep sea diving in the hopefully not Titan Mark II. Here's how it works. You use charts found in every zone to explore the seabed. While submerged, you drop spooky lanterns that create small safety bubbles. Once you run out of lanterns, the ocean tries to collapse your lungs, and you have to hightail it back to your escape pod. For reasons beyond human comprehension, my very first dive rewards me with a treasure trove of level 1 boots. I look at all my loot. I got so many pairs of boots. Oh my god. Double res and 10% move speed on a 3-link. Doesn't get better than that. I'm also introduced to all-flame crafting. You take a new currency called Deadman Sulfur over to a ghostly dude named Vesper, throw in an item and a crafting orb, and he splits your craft into multiple choices so you can pick the best outcome. It is an exceedingly cool mechanic, and I genuinely hope it survives past this league. With the tutorial out of the way, I blast through Act 1 and pick up supports for Freezing Pulse, Volley for extra projectiles, and Chance to Poison for the cope. Now, to be clear, poison scales off of physical and chaos damage. I am dealing pure cold. Mechanically, this gem is doing almost nothing, but it is thematic and I am a man of principle, so screw efficiency. Plus, the gem adds 1 to 3 flat chaos damage per hit, so technically speaking, it's not entirely useless. Around this time, I dropped my first chromatic orb. Normally, I wouldn't mention it, but it's a reminder of what might be the greatest quality of life change in PoE history. Gems no longer needing to match socket colors. Finding campaign gear upgrades without spending 5 minutes recoloring a 3-link is a euphoric experience. I grab Sniper's Mark to make enemies take increased projectile damage, which makes short work of Brutus. The Mark also causes my Freezing Pulses to split off targets on hit, which comes in handy for ad-heavy encounters like Captain Fairgraves in his fancy new ambush spot. I also take a quick detour through the new All-Flame Cave to appreciate the upgraded lighting and atmosphere, easily the most vital patch note carrying this game 13 years in a row. Before I know it, I'm staring down the boss of Act 1, Merveille. Honestly, there isn't much to say about this fight anymore. I drop a decoy totem, spam my poisonless cold waves, and send her back to the ocean floor. Act 2 passes by in a complete blur. Along the way, I drop my very first unique item of the run, a pair of Shackles of the Wretched. Honestly, if my choices are equipping these gloves or wearing nothing at all, let's just say my ranger is getting frostbite. Over in the Chamber of Sins, I hit another milestone.
Chaos Orb.
My first Chaos Orb. While dropping a Chaos isn't quite as thrilling as it is in PoE2, it's still the golden standard for trade currency, so finding one this early is a nice little bankroll. Fidelitas bites the dust, and I get to pick a new Herald skill. Now, Herald of Ice would be the logical, sane choice for an ice spell build. Naturally, I walk the fine line between genius and psychosis and pick Herald of Agony. It gives my hits a 20% chance to poison, boosts poison damage, and summons an immortal giant scorpion to fight alongside me. His damage is nothing special, but I appreciate the moral support. Here's a lightning fast rundown of the passive tree so so far. So far the tree is pretty simple, just projectile damage, life, some suppression and movement speed, and then cold damage over here. Now I'm gonna get some life probably, and then start making my way up, I think. I kill a couple bandits and decide to help Alira. The 15% boost to all elemental resistances is just too good to pass up when you're wearing garbage gear. Next, I run another chart, hit level 21, and visit Vesper for a quick all-flame craft. I toss in an Orb of Alchemy and a blank turquoise amulet, and he gives me a choice of outcomes. Strength, rarity, cold res, cold damage. Definitely this one. Cold damage, rarity, cold res. Yeah. Oh my god, dude. I'm trying to record a video, bro. Pardon the interruption. That's my buddy Belt, who's currently building me a new custom hideout. Don't worry, we'll do a full tour once the masterpiece is finished. And speaking of masterpieces, a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Displate. Look, if your setup is currently giving off unfurnished dungeon vibes, Displate sells a plethora of officially licensed metal posters that can turn even the blandest stairway into an actual showcase. I've got some absolute bangers on hand, including the Arbiter of Ash in all his 3D texture glory, SK and Friends from Expedition 33, Badass Mau Mau from the Apothecary Diaries, and of course, Jinx, whom our cat is appropriately named after. The best part, you don't need a drill, screws, or any actual handy skills. They use a clever magnetic system. You stick a protective leaf to your wall, slap the magnet on top, and the metal posters snap right into place in about 3 seconds flat. 0 damage, 0 holes, 0 angry texts from your landlord. Plus, because it's magnetic, whenever you get bored or a new game comes out, you can literally pop one off and swap in a new design in no time at all. If you want to upgrade your setup and support the channel, hit the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen to get 22% off one poster, 27% off 2 posters, or 33% off 3 posters or more. A huge thank you to Displate for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to Act 2. Anyways, I scale the pyramid and face off against the Val Oversoul, while I happen to be possessed by a ghost because I must have opened a spooky chest earlier. I'll be honest, I have no idea if being ghosted like this actually gives me a buff or if it's just an average Friday night. Either way, the fight is painful. Freezing Pulse is not a boss killer, and supporting it with chance to poison is essentially psychological self-harm. But I'm stubborn. I committed to the poison ice stream, and I'm going to suffer for it like a man. Act 3, the glorious moment where I finally get Eye of Winter, pick up my Pathfinder Ascendancy, and hopefully start making this entire unhinged setup make more sense. Staying on theme, I pick up Plague Bearer. The way it works is simple. As you poison enemies, it stores up damage in a tank. Once full, you press it to release a toxic aura that spreads biological warfare to anything breathing the same air. The only problem, my poison damage is so laughably low that the tank doesn't even move. Monsters aren't taking damage, they're taking a nap. While exploring the battlefield, I drop a genuinely useful unique though, Storm Charger Boots. I forget. Storm Charger move speed? Oh, a lot of move speed. Hold up, what? 33% increased move speed. I don't remember that. Looking back at this footage, I realized I got an absolute bottom tier low roll on literally every single stat, except the only one that matters, movement speed. We take those. I freezing pulse my way past Gravicious and Piety, then rush back to town to finally claim Eye of Winter. Unfortunately, I am immediately reminded that rangers don't get Eye of Winter from Gravicious. The game forces me to go complete the library quest first. Fantastic. So off I go to meet Sayosa, the friendly ghost, collect 4 pages of a golden book, my bets on Moby Dick, and finally buy the Eye of Winter gem. It shoots out a floating orb that spews spirals of icy shrapnels as it travels. It's basically Diablo 2's frozen orb, just slightly less iconic and currently doing about half the damage. I take it for a test drive in the Scepter of God, and, well, our clear speed has officially taken a hit. On the plus side, though, nope. Try as I might, there is no plus side. We are struggling. I scale the tower and fight Dominus. The damage is mediocre at best, but luckily a mercenary I picked up on the way does most of the heavy lifting, rendering the entire fight surprisingly trivial. With Dominus dead, it's time to finally ascend. I enter the Lord's Labyrinth, dodge the traps while strictly sticking to the go up and to the right rule, and hit level 32. I allocate a passive point into the Poison Mastery that makes initial poisons deal 300% increased damage. Now, mathematically speaking, 3 times 0 is still 0, but it's the thought that counts. Izaro rides his elevator up, my decoy totem takes the beatings, and I slowly whittle him down with Eye of Winter. With Izaro defeated, I officially become a Pathfinder and pick up Nature's Reprisal. This gives me Wither on hit, a stackable debuff that makes enemies take vastly increased chaos and poison damage. This will boost our output substantially once we actually deal poisons. Before leaving, I use the Divine Font to transform a random gem into a Firestorm of Pelting. Ooh, it's worth like 39 chaos. You better believe that's going straight onto the trade market the second I meet Faustus. Act 4 begins in the Dried Lake, where I take down Vol. Between Eye of Winter's projectile density and my new Pathfinder node, I'm occasionally stacking Wither up to 80%. The synergy is actually starting to peek through. It's also out here that, well, the clip speaks for itself. What the? Well, it was a good run, boys. Having now experienced death face to face, nothing can scare me. I put an end to Kaom's dream, obliterate Barcool, and then stand there like an absolute Chad while Deresso pulls out a full Shadow Clone Jutsu directly into my skull.
I just stood there.
Back in Highgate, I grab Spell Echo for my Eye of Winter 4-link and identify a gold ring with 24 intelligence. As you can imagine, pathing for intelligence from the Ranger start is a complete nightmare, so this is a massive win. I wrap up Act 4, make quick work of Piety, and somehow absolutely shred Malachi. I don't fully understand where this damage spike came from, but I'm certainly not filing a complaint. And upon drawing his last breath, he drops the almighty subscribers orb. If you're enjoying the run, hitting that subscribe button is a massive help. I'm literally in the middle of transitioning to making these videos full time, and that is only possible because of you guys. So seriously, thank you for all the support. Now, back to the grind. In Act 5, I open another spooky chest and get showered with a Chaos Orb and our very first 5-link.
Oh, 5-link. I can't use it though. First 5-link, but there's no way I'm getting enough strength for that.
Too bad that despite having white sockets, I still can't use it. I push through the act, lining up Justicar Casticus in the Eye of Winter sweet spot to melt him and reach level 42. I am exactly one level away from equipping the build-defining unique that makes this whole disaster functional. I can't wait. I grind through Innocence's 3,000 phases and finally hit level 43, the Promised Land. I port to town, find the item on trade, teleport over to buy it, and hit a minor roadblock. I don't have enough gold. Oh no, how could this happen? Right, I forgot gold exists. That sucks, but the only cure for poverty is homicide, so back to the campaign we go. I hit level 45, and here's a snappy rundown of my tree.
Poison, mark stuff. I'm probably gonna get rid of this. It's not that big a deal. And then chaos. If I could get automation of my marks, that'd be great, but I haven't figured that out yet.
A few zones later, I finally farm up enough gold to buy the prize, Volker's Guidance. It gives life, resistances, and flat cold damage, but most importantly, it carries one key line: your cold damage can poison. Until now, poison scaling only cared about physical and chaos damage. With these gloves equipped though, the rulebook gets thrown out the window. My cold spells can finally inflict proper poison. The gloves do come with a heavy downside though. Poisons are 50% shorter, which stings, but hey, nothing in life is free. And extending that duration is going to be crucial because making a poison spellcaster actually work in PoE requires balancing 4 specific pillars. First, base damage. Poison calculates its damage from the size of the initial hit, so getting flat added cold or chaos damage onto Eye of Winter is priority number 1. Second, scaling. Generic spell damage doesn't do anything for poison since poison is considered its own damage type similar to attacks or spells. So we have to stack cold or chaos damage, damage over time multipliers, and straight up poison damage instead. Third, duration. Poison stacks infinitely, so extending how long each poison lasts and counteracting our gloves' downside means our DPS ramps up significantly during long boss fights. And fourth, you need sources of chance to poison, because if your spells aren't actually inflicting poison 100% of the time, the whole engine falls apart. Alright, with the gloves in hand, I race onto the cathedral rooftop, absolutely evaporating everything in my path, and wake up Kitava. Oh my god, the build is saved. I knew it would be an upgrade, but the damage is actually absurd. I am stoked for what lies ahead. Act 6 starts out strong. While clearing Twilight Strand II, I drop another 5 link, and this time it's actually usable. I slap it on immediately, and honestly, being able to socket gems without worrying about matching colors is still giving me high-grade dopamine. I talk to Lily Roth, who opens up her full gem shop. This lets me grab Shield Charge, which I genuinely forgot you can use with wands now. I link it with faster attacks and momentum, and we are officially zooming. A few zones later, I drop a unique belt. I pause to identify it mid-combat to see if it's an upgrade, get completely distracted, and instantly obliterated. Yeah, total user error. Zero defense for that one. Tukohama tries to stand in my way next, but he gets turned into kindling thanks to the absurd damage of an early 5 link. While running up Chevron's tower, I nearly charge past a rare scepter, but decide to backtrack and identify it. And thank God I did, because look at this monster.
Oh, 7 to 100? Whoa, yo, this just gets better and better the more you look at it.
I am a force of nature right now. I blitz through the rest of the act, light the beacon, and face the Brine King. Thanks to his massive hitboxes, he takes the full, unadulterated brunt of every single Eye of Winter projectile. He did not stand a chance. Act 7 passes by in a blur. Highlights include a couple of embarrassingly untimely deaths, a random loot explosion from a ghosted spider,
Whoa!
and buying our second core unique, Ice Fang Orbit, for the cheap price of a single Chaos Orb. This ring gives me poison chance, increased poison damage, and makes it so every enemy I poison is also chilled. With my new ring equipped, I walk into Arakali's arena and turn her into spider paste in seconds.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Literally nothing of note happened in Act 8, so let's jump straight to Act 9, where I die. Considering my health bar is dropping more often than I'd like, I decide to try a defensive weapon swap suggested by a friend of mine, Sybil's Paw. Now, this is a claw, which isn't usually what you'd expect a spellcaster to hold, but it has one absurdly broken mechanic for a skill like Eye of Winter, life gain on hit, specifically with spells. Now, every little hit sends 45 life directly to my health pool, and since Eye of Winter spews out more projectiles than a sick toddler, my sustain has gone through the roof. While it is a slight damage downgrade, the defensive upside is undeniable. Spoilers, I go through the rest of Act 9 and all of Act 10 without a single death, so my buddy was definitely onto something. Before facing Kitava one last time, I have a few errands to run. First, I identify an absolute monster of an amulet.
Whoa, what an amulet. Oh my. Look at this. I mean, the life is lower, right? It is. That's just a fact, but triple res like that? That's insane. What can I throw on there? Mana, or that's it? Ugh, that's too bad. That's gotta be an upgrade. Like, I am struggling with my resistances. That caps me out. Oh, that's gonna be so nice.
Second, it's time for the Cruel Labyrinth. Naturally, I walk all the way to the plaza, only to realize I forgot one of the trials in Act 7. Whoops. A quick trip back to the crypts fixes my mistake, and I head in to fight Izaro. The fight is a bit slow because I'm cursed with temporal chains the entire time, but we get it done. For my second ascendancy, I pick up Master Toxicologist. This makes my poison spread to nearby enemies whenever I have a flask running, and gives my poisons a 20% chance to deal double damage. Beautiful. Pathfinder as a whole has taken so many nerfs over the years that it's a hollow shell of its former self, but hey, at least it's not Warden. Rest in peace, Raider. Gone, but never forgotten. You are my favorite. Third on the list, Merciless Lab. I power through the traps, take down Izaro again, and grab Nature's Boon. This gives my magic utility flasks 30% increased effect, making my Quicksilver faster, and my Jade Flask give me way more evasion. With my errands complete, I walk into the rematch with Kitava. The fight goes smoothly because I finally mastered the exact spacing needed to hit Eye of Winter's sweet spot. I blast through his phases, and then...
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's my fault.
My bad, I forgot I died here. I step back into the arena, deal the final blow, and send Kitava packing. The campaign is officially over, and the real struggle is about to begin. With the campaign behind us, let's re-establish the goals for this run. First, I need to collect all 4 endgame void stones. That means pushing through tier 1 all the way to tier 16 maps and taking down the pinnacle bosses, the Eater of Worlds, Syrian Exarch, the Incarnations, Shaper Elder, and finally, Maven. Second, I need to track down and destroy the new mysterious boss added this league, Velka the Tide Witch. I know almost nothing about the fight or how to initiate it, so we're going in blind. Naturally, before launching into my very first map, I do what any reasonable player does, spend my lunch money on immediate budget upgrades. I buy a brand new belt, a high block evasion and yes hybrid shield, a starter helmet, and a decent 5-link chest piece, each costing 2 chaos or less. Feeling as ready as I'll ever be, I launch into the Atlas grind. I tear through map after map, making rapid Atlas progress and picking up some nice starter drops, including a high rolled gold rim and a solid abyss jewel. I started the league on day 3, so trade prices are wildly unstable, but items are still moving. I turn those early sales into my next weapon upgrade, Singularity. Sibyl's Paw was great for life gain, but I need actual damage now. Singularity gives cast speed, mana efficiency, and most importantly, it hinders nearby enemies while giving me 100% increased damage against hindered targets. It's an elite starter weapon until I can afford real endgame gear. For the shield, I pick up Leper's Alms. It gives high evasion and energy shield, but more importantly, it extends ailment durations by 40%. This almost completely neutralizes the downside on my Volker's Guidance. I jump back into mapping, pushing into tier 4s, and the damage difference is night and day. I swap out a life flask for a sulfur flask to get even more damage and consecrated ground regeneration, when suddenly, my Firestorm of Pelting Gem from the first lab finally sells. 45 chaos in the bank. I waste 0 time and buy the ultimate staple poison body armor, Dendrobate. For 20 chaos, I get a 5-linked chest piece with solid defenses, built-in chance to poison, and massive scaling payoffs, giving nearly 100% more poison damage and 25% increased poison duration if you meet the attribute thresholds. It's practically glued to my character for the rest of the run. I take Dendrobate out for a test drive in maps, and then... Ooh, a Divine Orb, worth 160 chaos right now. RNGesus has blessed us, and we are officially rich. I push further into the Atlas, hitting level 75, meeting the Maven for the first time, and dying. A lot. I don't know if my build just lacks DPS, but the mobs that spawn from cursed treasures are absurdly aggressive. If I don't instantly erase them the millisecond they spawn, they sprint at me with lethal intent. After losing a few years of my lifespan to the same rare pack, I make the executive decision to ignore cursed treasures entirely and stick to the safer options. These deaths also serve as a gentle reminder that my defenses are severely lacking, specifically my spell suppression. Right now, I'm sitting at a meager 39% chance. Getting that capped at 100%, which cuts incoming spell damage almost in half, is going to be mandatory if I want to stop getting one-tapped. I keep leveling and path toward a vital passive node, Whispers of Doom. This lets me apply a second curse, so I grab Despair. I slot both Despair and Sniper's Mark into an Arcanist brand setup. Now, whenever I run into a tanky rare or a boss, I drop a single brand and automatically apply both curses for a massive 40% damage boost. By the time I hit tier 7 and 8 maps, I start dropping the quest items that let me influence maps with the Eldritch Horrors. This is great, we're making progress. It's also around this time that I realize I've been making an utterly embarrassing mistake. Ever since I equipped the Dendrobate, I've been running Chance to Poison in my 5-link. Despite the chest piece already giving me level 10 Chance to Poison automatically. An entire support slot completely wasted, doing literally nothing. I immediately swap it out for slower projectiles. This gives projectiles more damage, but more importantly, it slows down the Eye of Winter Orb itself. The slower the orb travels, the more times its icy shrapnel hits the same target, at least in theory. In practice, the damage skyrockets, though I now have to readjust my positioning to account for the reduced range. I take a break from mapping to do some more deep sea diving, returning with a few message in a bottle drops worth 40 chaos each. These are essentially gacha tickets. You open them hoping for a miracle, but usually you just end up with trash, unless you get Columbina on the first try. I mean, it can happen. And oh no. Oh no. Naturally, after succumbing to temptation the first time, I sell the rest directly to the gamblers. And while I'm down here, the Sephiroth, worth just a bit under 1 div. That's amazing. Wait, is all the good loot hidden at the bottom of the ocean? I run my very first ocean voyage, which is a series of connected charts that you've already run that lets you explore the seabed for an extended dive. While I don't drop any hyper rare uniques, I walk away with over 100,000 gold. I head straight to trade and put that gold to use, buying a new pair of boots with 30% movement speed, life, chaos resistance, and 11% spell suppression for 55 chaos orbs. The gear is slowly coming together and capped suppression is finally in sight. At this point, my buddy Bell informs me that my custom hideout is finally finished. He sends over the file, I import it, and... Alright, so I promised you guys a little bit of a hideout showcase, a little tour. My buddy Bell, he made this hideout for me, and so let's check it out real quick. It's not huge or anything. This is in the desert hideout, so I think everyone can have access to it. And yeah, let's go look at where the stash is. It's just right up here. It's got a bunch of statues, very beautiful. Faustus, Helena. I actually moved Faustus here. He had him like way down here. It's too far. You don't play Faustus enough. You need to have him right next to your stash. Then we got our map device over here. Nice little comfy area, cozy. Einhar's hanging out in the hut. Got some statues over here. Our crafting bench. I really like this crafting bench. It's the old Chaos workbench from like the Forsaken Masters back in the day. But yeah, with like a little lantern thing on top of it. I don't know. It looks cool. Our lockers. Lots of lockers. And here we have our NPCs, the Expedition Bros, Kirak, Egan, all hanging out here. And that's it. It's just confined to like half of the hideout. But, you know, it looks pretty. He's got tons of bushes and stuff. I love the red and the green. Good job, man. I like this. This is nice. Dude, this is awesome. Easily your finest work yet. If you want to download this hideout for yourself, let me know in the comments. I can probably convince him to release the file if I bribe him with a sub and a poutine. While enjoying my new home base, I finally set up a classic cast when damage taken setup linked with Immortal Call. Now, whenever a hit bypasses my evasion or block, Immortal Call triggers automatically to give me a brief window of damage reduction. It won't save me from everything, but every little bit helps. Though unfortunately, nothing could have saved me from this ghosted spider boss tearing me a new one. Having built up a decent bankroll, I drop 140 chaos on a fully 6-length danger bait. I slot in a max quality added chaos damage gem and realize I can pick up a corrupted level 20 Eye of Winter with over 20% quality for just 3 chaos orbs, replacing my weak level 18 version, giving us a massive damage spike. I push into tier 10 maps and encounter my first endgame trial of Ascendancy, easily walking out with an offering to the goddess for Uber Lab. Knowing Bell hasn't done his Uber Lab yet either, we team up to conquer it together. By the way, Bell is running a self-made hyper screen cluttering ice crash build. What a guy. We speed through the labyrinth, fight Izaro, and I have a dangerously close call while trying to navigate the traps. That would have been a very sad way to die. We reach the final Izaro arena and duke it out. I foolishly walk face first into his heavy sword slash, but survive completely unscathed, thanks to either a lucky block or evasion RNG. We'll never know. With Izaro dead, I allocate my final Ascendancy node, Nature's Adrenaline. This passive constantly feeds flask charges directly into all my flasks, ensuring maximum uptime. To celebrate, we decide to engage in PoE's most forgotten abandoned game mode, a 1v1 PvP duel. Oh my god. Oh! Oh my god. Oh man, that's so close. Ooh. Oh, okay. After taking turns getting instantly deleted, it becomes immediately clear why nobody plays this anymore. It is a pure, unadulterated one-shot fest. With the duel ending in a tie, we part ways, me jumping back into the ocean depths for scarab explosions, and Bell going back to tweaking his hideout decor to get the lighting just right. Adios, amigo. I start planning my next voyage when something catches my eye. Whoa, where are monsters in adjacent areas drop additional divine orb? Oh snap. If I play my cards right, this could be massive. I spend the next few minutes meticulously mapping out my voyage, optimizing tiles for maximum profit. Once everything is lined up, I head down into the abyss. I carefully sweep the seabed, reaching level 82 and vacuuming up piles of gold. The dream setup is right within reach. Until... Oh! No, that's... Bro, what the hell was that? Something just spawned a ton of little lightning things right on me. And just like that, the dream of a dozen divine orbs dies in the dark. I rewatched the clip in disbelief, trying to figure out what just vaporized me. The only conclusion I can draw is that these new mobs drop tiny, innocent-looking lightning orbs on death, and because I've never encountered them before, I walked straight into the trap. Ugh. Feeling a bit seasick after that display, I return to mapping. Shortly after, I pick up the Writhing Invitation and encounter the Rotten Druid, a familiar face straight out of PoE2. Good to see you again, old friend. I slot the Writhing Invitation into my map device to initiate what is universally considered the absolute worst boss in the entire game, the Infinite Hunger. The last time I faced this guy, I was dragged into a miserable 19-minute sludge fest, so I was praying history would not repeat itself today. And thankfully, it didn't. While I didn't insta-phase him, my poisons steadily ate away his health pool in under 2 minutes. As for his loot, look at all the loot he dropped. A bountiful harvest. He literally dropped 2 items. What the hell, man? Why is this so garbage? He literally dropped 2 items. Oh my god, dude. Truly generous. Next up, I run into Egan in a map, which officially triggers the Incarnations questline. Definitely gonna need that for progression. A couple maps later, I drop a Polaric Invitation. Time to duel the Black Star. I jump into the arena, dodge her mechanics, bring her HP bar down to a pixel, and... oh, what the heck, dude. Yep, that's a one-shot. Classic. Still, with both quest bosses taken down, I'm one step closer to securing my first Void Stone. All that's left is pushing into tier 16 maps and clearing out the bottom left quadrant of the Atlas. But before I can make that push, it's time for another round of gear upgrades. First, I pick up a new Poison Ring to pair with my Ice Fang Orbit, Betrayal's Sting. This thing gives me Chaos Res and a tiny bit of move speed, while also giving my hits a chance to inflict 2 stacks of poison instead of 1. The trade-off is a harsh 20% penalty to elemental resistances, which I easily fix by replacing my belt and amulet with high-res upgrades. Next, I allocate the Eldritch Battery Keystone on the passive tree. This forces my energy shield to protect mana instead of life, allowing my energy shield to be spent on my abilities. Not only does this solve my rising mana costs instantly, but it also frees up a flask slot, allowing me to take full advantage of my Pathfinder Ascendancy. Defensively, losing raw energy shield changes almost nothing. It was never gonna save me anyway. Plus, freeing up that mana allows me to reserve Vitality for free extra health regen, and Malevolence for more damage over time. Lastly, I drop 100 Chaos on a new helmet, pushing my spell suppression up to 89%. It's not the 100% cap just yet, but by throwing in a quartz flask into that newly opened slot, as long as my flasks are active, which as a Pathfinder is almost always, we're sitting comfortably capped. I keep pushing through the red maps, discovering that the updated reflect mechanics are an absolute nightmare for my build, and panic add Val Grace to my skill bar as an oh crap button whenever things go south. A few maps later... nice! Finally, time to face off against the Searing Exarch, the first boss on our hit list. I open up the portals, step inside, and show him what I'm made of, which as it turns out, isn't much. Not dying. Barely. Nearly dying. Okay, here I have to lock in. Gosh darn it. I get instantly erased during his very first rolling meteor ball phase, and when I respawn and walk back into the arena, he's completely bugged out and his attack animations have stopped playing. Invisible death walls, my favorite. I die again and again and again until I run out of portals. Guys, that sucked. I wish I could say this was the first time I've encountered game-breaking bugs during this boss fight, but that would be a big lie. I head back to mapping to wash off the salt, and just 2 maps later... Alright, the Eater of Worlds is historically way less buggy, so let's get our revenge here instead. I open the portals, step into the arena, and things are looking great. Until... bad. hit. I was just on the edge. My god. Right. Respect the massive, perfectly telegraphed spirit bombs. Got it. I jump back in, maintain my distance whenever he charges up his screen-wide nuke, and successfully take home the dub. And finish him off. There we go. Okay. Yes, our first pinnacle boss win of the run. It's about time. Now, I'm not overly eager to immediately refight the Exarch while completely broke. I literally have 4 Chaos Orbs to my name right now, so I come up with a plan. Drop back down into tier 10 maps, clear out more of the Atlas, and farm essences. Loads of them. After liquidating my entire stash of essences, I walk away with enough capital to buy a real endgame scepter, finally retiring my trusty singularity for a massive damage spike. Feeling as ready as I'll ever be, I open those fiery portals once more for my rematch with the Searing Exarch, and settled the score. Okay, hopefully. Woo! Yeah, no, that wasn't gonna happen. God damn it. Come on, come on. There we go. Okay, that went way better. And with that, Voidstone number 1 is in the bag. Progress is officially happening. With our first Voidstone slotted into the Atlas, the Incarnations are next on the hit list. Before diving into Egan's questline, I put the rest of my essence currency to work. I pick up a pair of gloves corrupted with the Despair on hit implicit, meaning my curse now applies to everything I touch automatically without relying on my Arcanist brand. Massive win for map clear. I also grabbed 2 new rings with Chaos Res implicit corruptions, finally fixing my paper-thin defenses against chaos damage. I tear through maps, climbing to level 89 and 90 while collecting high value drops from the blue Eldritch Altars I spec'd into on the Atlas tree. Before I know it, my Atlas completion is sitting at 82 out of 100. Not bad at all. Feeling fully prepared, I launch the Egan questline and speed through the memory chains, taking down the mini-boss Mini Cyrus completely unscathed before facing the next real threat, the Incarnation of Neglect. Oh, I survived that, wow. Oh my god. That's so close. Okay, he is at half. He's always in a big slam. Pop my Val Grace. Oh my god, almost die. Okay, he's getting low. He's almost dead. Oh my god, I don't know what I was thinking. I need to get out of that. Hey, not bad. He put up a solid fight, but we came out victorious, and shockingly, deathless for once. He even dropped his unique ring, Betrayal's Sting. If this were a solo self-found run, I'd be losing my mind right now. I jump into the second chain, vaporize the next mini-boss before he can even launch an attack, and grab a pair of boots with memory strands he drops in order to all-flame craft an upgrade. The result? An absolute dream pair with literally everything I could ask for. I throw on some Eldritch implicits and hit increased onslaught effect alongside poisons deal damage 9% faster while a unique boss is present. Absolutely incredible. Next up, the Incarnation of Fear. This is going really well. Okay. Oh, the timing on that. I tried getting out of there, but I wasn't fast enough. Notice that with Spellico, I get stuck in the animation and can't move out of the way of things quickly. Which I guess can be chalked up to me not casting my spell fast enough for that to not happen. Anyways, he's pretty dead, I think. There we go. With Fear dead and 350 chaos in the bank after liquidating a pile of hoarded scarabs, it's time for another round of upgrades. I grab a corrupt jewel with Cannot Be Silenced for a dirt cheap 33 chaos and buy a belt with an open prefix to attempt an all-flame exalt craft for flask mods. Here, all-flame crafting, stick my belt in there, stick this exalt in here, and see what our options are. Wow. That's just bad on bad on bad. +2, +10.
Or plus 23 to... Why is it all energy shield? It could have been other mods.
Nice. Pure trash. We love to see it. Next, I buy a level 20 cruelty support gem to replace added chaos, since Path of Building promises it's a 9.4% damage boost. I quality it up and slam a Val Orb onto it, praying for the +1 gem level.
Come on, big money.
Oh my god!
That is worth 2 divines. Let's go.
It actually hit. Back to the Egan quest, I face off against Mini Innocence, who hits me with a terrifying expanding flame wave attack I've literally never seen before. It catches me completely off guard and sends me straight back to my hideout. I resurrect, adjust my positioning to keep my distance, and take my revenge. And finally, it's time to face the last member of the trio, the incarnation of Dread.
Oh my god. Not sure how I survived that, but alright. Correct the roses. Here's one. Oh, I was right there. Our damage is actually not terrible though. Like for real, this is pretty good. Oh! Okay. That is bad timing. There it is. There we go. Come on, finish him. Oh my god. Yes. Hell yeah, Deathless.
We take him down, securing Voidstone number 2, the Originator Voidstone. Oh, and right on cue, Xana goes full crazy ex-girlfriend and gamages the entire universe. Oh, classic Xana, what would we do without you? Without wasting a second, I push straight towards Shaper. I take down all 4 Shaper Guardians with 0 issues, well, almost 0 issues. After killing Hydra, I realize I completely ran out of portal scrolls to leave her arena, forcing me to log out to character select like a total noob. With all 4 fragments collected, I open the portals and step into the Shaper's realm.
Our damage is not bad, actually. Better than I thought it would be. This is truly one of the better fights in the entire game. I mean, I don't like the phases, but the actual moment-to-moment combat of the fight is really good. Oh, that's really bad. Not good. Come on, we're so close now. I'm getting greedy. No, oh, god damn it, our first death. No. Bro, I got too crazy at the end there. I wasn't careful. Really? Dude, this fight has already been going on for 10 minutes, bro. I've been fighting you for 10 minutes, please. Just die. There we go. We got some loot.
What a fight. The man loves his immunity faces, and my greed actually got me killed near the end, but we came out on top. Next up, his better half, the Elder. I buy all 4 Elder Guardian maps for a few chaos each and systematically hunt them down. With his fragments lined up, it's time to claim the Decayed Voidstone, and hopefully a valuable Watcher's Eye while we're at it. I jump in, get him down to half HP, and... right. I head back in for his portal phase and do my absolute best to protect the Shaper, who spends the entire event doing a very thorough hands-on safety inspection of the arena walls. Yep, looks like solid masonry over here. In case you didn't know, the Elder has a 40% chance to drop a Watcher's Eye, unless you let the portal ads kill the Shaper, in which case his drop rate plummets to exactly none. Fortunately, we keep Shaper alive and slay the Elder and get the loot explosion.
Hey, we got the Watcher's Eye. An un-ID'd Watcher's Eye. 170 chaos as is. But most importantly, we got our Decayed Voidstone, which is awesome. So that we go in here. I think, you know what? I think I want to identify this Watcher's Eye. I can't not identify them. I don't know what's wrong with me. Let's freaking do it. Hopefully we get something good. Fingers crossed. Cast speed and mana, and both low rolled. Okay. 3 divines. 3 divines for that combination. Sick. That's great. That's amazing.
After putting the Watcher's Eye up for sale, I'm reminded that, hey, Watcher's Eyes are pretty good. So I turn around and spend 2 divines on one carrying my absolute favorite defensive mod. Gain life on hit while affected by vitality. Combined with Eye of Winter's projectile spam, my mapping sustain is now practically infinite. With only 1 more Void Stone to go, I get back out there, pushing for Atlas completion and getting blessed with a random anomaly when killing the boss of a random infested valley map. A Syndicate hideout. Wait, isn't this just the Betrayal League? I'm confused. Anyways, I head in there, easily hit level 91, and beat the crap out of the Syndicate members that show up at the end, completely unaware of what would become the most pivotal moment for the entire run.
90 seconds to craft till I get a good ring? What even are good rings? Oh, Calandra's Touch. Okay. Okay. Sure, I'll take a Calandra's Touch. Okay, that's worth 13 divines. I am glad I came in here. Oh my gosh. Wow, I've never found a Calandra's Touch before. I've owned one, I've bought them, but I've never found one before. That's crazy. That's cool. So we found the Calandra's Touch last night. I didn't want to sell it right away because it was bedtime, but it is now time to sell it, and it has gone up by 1 divine. It is worth 14 to 15 divines right now. I'm going to place it for 14, and that should sell pretty instantly.
5 minutes later.
There we go. Someone's buying it. 14 div. Thank you, sir.
14 divines in the bank. That single ring is worth more than my entire character. Time to splurge. First, I replace my scepter with an oscillating scepter carrying the elemental overload implicit. These come from Heist. This gives my spells 40% more damage for the next 8 seconds whenever I crit, representing a 24% total DPS upgrade when you factor in the other mods on top. The cost, a bargain 200 chaos. Second, I drop 8 whole divines on a 6-link Dendrobate corrupted with +2 to level of projectile gems, handing us another massive 25% damage boost. I take a slight hit to my resistances, but nothing the few prismatic catalysts can't fix. Lastly, I buy a helmet for 3 div with a perfect 14% spell suppression roll, officially capping our spell suppression. Well, almost. Look, 99% is basically 100. I like living dangerously. I slam some Eldritch Currencies onto the helmet for extra cast speed and ailment duration, and then take the upgraded build out for a spin, completing our very last uncleared map. 100 out of 100 Atlas completion. Amazing. Next stop, Maven. I run my remaining maps with the Maven yelling insults my way at every boss. After a quick pit stop at Festa's to buy our final written invitation, I open the portals to face off against the hardest Voidstone boss in the game, Maven. I jump in, wake her up, and fight to the death.
Oh, I didn't even see that. My god, I deal no damage. What is this?
Specifically my death, of course. I walk back into the arena, lock in, and push through her mind-numbing memory games and brain battles when suddenly...
Oh no, what do you mean? Game server lost contact with the realm. Oh my god, in the middle of the fight? Server went down? Oh no. And my map is gone. No! Oh, come on.
Right. The universe testing my resolve. Here we go again.
Oh, what the Right, up, left, up, right, up. Come on. Left, up, right, up, right, up. Oh. That was so close. Yeah, okay. I walked into that with 5 HP. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh god, this is so intense. Yes. Okay, awesome.
2 extremely painful deaths later, I strike the final blow, claiming the ceremonial Voidstone alongside a doppelganger's guise worth a crisp 3 divines. With all 4 Voidstones officially slotted into the Atlas, only one final milestone remains, taking down the new league boss introduced in Curse of the Allflame, Velka. After doing some research, I learned that initiating the fight requires a hyper rare chart with a unique orange name, Kishara's Rest. How rare is it? Well, out of every map I've cleared and every chart I've picked up this entire run, I've seen exactly one orange chart, and it wasn't this one. Now, I could just go to trade and buy one for 40 chaos, but where's the fun in that? Instead, we grind. I start speed farming beach maps, partially because it fits the ocean theme to channel good chart RNG, but mostly because it's a brainless layout to blast in a minute. I grind map after map, clicking blue altars and inspecting every single chart drop with 0 luck. Until finally, 3 agonizing hours later,
Kishara's Rest, let's go!
yes, the jackpot. I jump back on deck, spam alteration orbs until the map modifiers don't look instantly fatal, and run the chart.
See what happens. It's definitely different. It's a straight line, this one. Oh, a divine. I have never gotten a divine for many. This is my 2nd divine of the entire league in like 30 something hours. That's kind of crazy. Well, I do want to get out of here with my money.
With the chart cleared and a divine in my pockets, I return to the ship, talk to Val and Vesper, and stitch together our final glorious ocean voyage. I place the Kishara's Rest tile right at the start and dive into the abyss one last time. Deep on the ocean floor, I spot an ominous circular arena and make a direct beeline for it. I step inside. This is it. The ultimate final boss of the run, Velka the Tide Witch.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. That's a laser. Phrecia the Tamed Behemoth. Okay. Oh, I can't go that way. Oh my gosh, she's transforming. I'm scared. Oh, she's tanky. I'm worried I'm gonna get like one shot by something. Oh. Oh god. Yo, these guys are tanky. Oh. Okay, I just narrowly dodged that. Oh my god, my heart is beating. No, don't get me out of there. Okay. Is Phrecia dead? Why does it say Phrecia Tamed Behemoth is her name now? Shouldn't it say Velka? Come on. Oh god, walked into that one. Woo! We got the crab staff.
32 hours of gameplay, 99 total deaths, and 1 completely unhinged poison Eye of Winter Pathfinder. And the run is officially complete. Plus, I get to enjoy my well-earned rewards. A big thank you to Displate for sponsoring today's video, and remember to click on the link in the description to get up to 33% off your next order. And a huge thank you to all of my channel members and patrons for your ongoing support. I hope you enjoyed the run. Let me know what you would do to take this build even further, and I'll see you all in the next one.